Welcome. It's Mr. Alby here. Welcome to another edition of Way of the Hand. Today we will be learning the letter C. C, cat. K. C says K. Now C is one of the hardest and easiest letters to make. Everybody thinks they know how to make a C, but they usually make the C the wrong way. Now we like to call C a magic C because it's the letter that if you learn C correctly, you will be able to make a handful of other letters. But if you make it incorrectly, then it will be that much harder to make a number of other letters. So that's why we call it a magic C, because it kind of opens up the door for making lots of other letters. Now C always starts on the top and pulls around. Kids mostly want to start at the bottom and push up. We never push our letters away from us. They're like our friends. We want to pull them forward. We want to bring your friend close, right? Not when we're social distancing, but every other time. You want to bring your friend close. Same thing with our letters. We don't want to push them away. So we don't start at the bottom. We start up higher and pull them closer. So we'll be working with the letter C today. But first we need to start with a little relaxation, a little warm up, get our bodies just right and tune our bodies and minds into each other. Our bodies and minds are working together as a team. Let's start with a little stretching. Breathe when you do this. Now we learned some breathing from Mrs. T in guidance, didn't we? It's the same kind of breath, the big breath. It fills our belly up and then we push it out of our belly. It's the same kind of breath that helps us relax when we're doing handwriting or Way of the Hand, which is a form of martial art. It's a peaceful way that teaches you how to write. Okay. My favorite. Start with the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's do them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you feel how you're already getting relaxed and ready to write? Well, we should begin. Now, when we make a C, we're going to start a little bit below the hat line, which is unusual because usually we start at the hat line or at the belt line. But this time we're going to start a little bit below the hat line, just like we did with a lowercase f, because we are going to curve or arch back. And we're going to come up sort of like a rainbow and bump this hat line, then come down and bump the bottom line. So an uppercase C looks like this. Pull back, down, and around. Now you'll notice I bumped here and I bumped here. I bumped the hat line and the foot line. Now a lowercase is the exact same shape. This one's kind of skinny. Usually I stretch them out a little more, but that's okay. A lowercase is going to be the exact same, except now you're starting a little bit below the belt line, just about there. What you're going to do is pull back, you bump the belt line, and down and around. And you'll notice I bumped here and I bumped here. Now what you don't want to do with a C is you don't want to start here at the bottom and push up. That's probably the biggest mistake that kids make. And it's one of those things that you might learn in preschool, but we really want to get you out of that habit. And I'll show you why in a second. I'll grab my eraser. So if you can make a C like this, pull back, down, and around. Look what other letters you can make. You can pull back, down, and around, go up, and then down. You have an A. All from the same motion of back, down, and around. You just add a little more to it. If You do the same motion, pull back, down, and around, but then you go up and down, you have a D. If you do pull back, down, and around, up, down to the worm line and under, you have a G. So it's really important to learn how to make the C the right way or the correct way so that you can make all sorts of other letters. It's very important to start here and pull back, down, and around. You do not want to start here and push up. Don't push your friends away from you. All right? Let's try some now on your piece of paper. So you're going to need to get your pencil, and I've already practiced grip with you, but you're going to want to practice your holding grip. Remember to rest the pencil there, and we'll get started with our writing. I just had to remind myself how to sit. I had my feet kind of wrapped around the chair legs, and I had to remind myself, Mr. Albee, sit up straight, put your feet flat on the floor, use your holding hand and your writing hand, and take a deep breath. So even I still have to catch myself when I go to write. When I make these videos, I stop for a minute, and sometimes I have to say, oh, you're ready to write again, get back into writing position. Now, we're going to start right here, right below the belt line. There's the belt, right there. I'm going to start right below. You'll see this arrow is just a little bit below. And we're going to hold our pencil the right way. Please use pencil, not marker. I know I've told you before, the marker is just so you can see it, but you should be using a pencil like this, or like this. Okay? So, ready? I'm going to say it as we do it. Pull back, down, and around. All right, nice. Pull back, down, and around. Sometimes I need to shift that hand. Pull back, down, and around. 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 Say it with me. Pull back, down, and around. Pull back, down, and around. Now I notice nobody's pushing up. That's good. Don't get in the habit of pushing up. Pull back and around. All right, I'm going to point and you're going to do these three. Get ready. Pull back, down, and around. Pull back, down, and around. Pull back, down, and around. Now find what you think is your best lowercase c. I think this one or this one is my best, right here or here. So I'm going to circle and I'm going to circle that one. That one's my best right there. We're getting our muscle memory to remember. Pull back, down, and around. Now in martial arts, we call this a scoop the kick. You sweep that, or a block. You scoop down and around. And that motion can start very large for something like a kick, and then it can move smaller and smaller. You make smaller motions or smaller circles. Jiu-jitsu does a lot with smaller circles. All right, now we're going to start right here. Holding hand ready. Get your focus, relax. Writing's all about relaxing. Ready? Below the line, here we go. Pull back, down, and around. Pull back, down, and around. Oh, I'm noticing that one looks better than that one. That one had a little bit of a flat tire right there. That one's got a nice curve to it. Pull back, down, and around. Now, when we talk about letters, of course, we talk about sticks, tall sticks, short sticks, and curves. And I know you spent some time building those last week with paper, sticks, and curves. You'll notice the C is just one curve. It doesn't close itself up like an O, which goes all the way around, but it's one curve. There are no sticks in the C. Pull back, down, and around. 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 And do one more, I'll have you do one. Pull back, down, and around. Now I'm going to point at them and you say it with me. Make sure you start here, not at the bottom. Ready? Pull back, down, and around. Nice. Pull back, down, and around. 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 Now choose your best C, a smaller C. I think this is my best right here. I'm going to circle it. I also like this one. I think this one might be my best. And we're going to get ready for the belt test. Now the belt test, you might want to put a little mark on your paper just to remind yourself where to start. We're not starting up here. We're not starting on the belt line. Just a tiny bit under it. Right about there. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Just a little bit under it. Now, just watch for now. You don't need to try yourself, but just watch mine. Pull back, down, and around. You'll notice I bumped it here, and I bumped it here. Okay. Now it's your turn. Let me make a little dot right below the belt line. Let's say it and do it. Pull back, down, and around. Now I'm noticing that this one is a little lighter, or a little nicer than this one. This one's a little more lopsided. You might notice that some of yours kind of change as you go along, and that's okay. You might have one with a flat tire here or there, or one that goes below the line. But just keep on trying. Pull back, down, and around. Let's do one more. Pull back, down, and around. Now, if you have learned today that you don't need to push from the bottom and up, like this, don't do that, but you've learned to pull back, down, and around, you have learned so much. This is going to help you tremendously in writing D's and A's and O's and G's and Q's. You're going to thank yourself for taking the time to learn this correctly. Now let's take a minute to bow out. Put my marker away. And we'll bow to each other to say goodbye. I'm very proud of you for all your hard work today, and I hope you're proud of yourself. So as a sign of respect, this is what we do in the martial arts dojo. You bow to your teacher, okay? And usually you also bow to the other people in your class, but since we don't see them right now, we're going to bow to our hand and show our hand some respect. Our hand, and I'll see you on another episode of Way of the Hand. Goodbye, my friends.